One day, Armin stood in front of his mirror, adjusting his shirt for the third time, even though nothing was wrong with it. His reflection stared back at him, not with confidence, but with doubt. His phone buzzed again on the table behind him. Another notification, another reminder of someone else doing better. He didn't need to check it. He already knew what it would be. Someone his age celebrating a new achievement, a promotion, a business launch, a transformation, a victory. Still, he turned around and picked it up. A former classmate smiling in front of a brand new car. "Hard work pays off," the caption read. Armin felt something tighten in his chest. Hard work. He whispered the words under his breath as if they were mocking him. Because he worked hard too. He studied, he tried, he pushed himself. But somehow, it never felt like enough. No matter what he achieved, there was always someone ahead. Faster, richer, smarter, happier. And slowly, without realizing it, his life had turned into a scoreboard he could never win. That morning, Armin left his house feeling heavier than usual. The world outside looked the same. Busy streets, rushing people, honking cars, but inside him, something was constantly unsettled. He wasn't just living anymore. He was measuring, comparing, competing, even with people who didn't know he existed. At college, it was the same story. As he walked through the hallway, laughter echoed around him. Groups of friends talked about internships, grades, plans, and dreams. Armin quietly listened, pretending not to care. But he cared. Every success someone mentioned felt like a reminder of his own lack. During class, he couldn't focus. His mind wandered. Ali already got accepted into that program. Hamza is earning online. Zayn has thousands of followers. And you? The voice in his head was ruthless. You're still figuring things out. By the time he got home, Armin was mentally exhausted. Not from work, but from comparison. It drained him more than any physical effort ever could. That night, he lay in bed scrolling endlessly. Perfect lives, perfect bodies, perfect achievements. He didn't notice when his jaw clenched. He didn't notice when his breathing became shallow. But he did notice the one thought that kept repeating, "I'm behind." Days turned into weeks, and the feeling didn't fade. It grew stronger. Comparison wasn't just a habit anymore. It had become a lens through which he saw everything. If he scored well, someone else scored better. If he made progress, someone else made more. If he felt happy, it was short-lived, because someone else looked happier. Eventually, even his own wins started to feel meaningless. One afternoon, after receiving decent grades, his friends celebrated. They laughed, joked, and talked about future plans. Armin smiled, but inside he felt empty. Decent, he thought, but not the best. On his way home, he stopped at a small tea stall. It wasn't anything special, just a quiet corner where people came and went without noticing each other. He sat down, ordered a cup of chai, and stared into nothing. For the first time in weeks, his phone battery died, and with it, the noise stopped. No notifications, no comparisons, no reminders of who was ahead, just silence. At first, it felt uncomfortable, like something was missing, but then, slowly, something else appeared. Clarity. He noticed the warmth of the tea in his hands, the sound of wind brushing past, the calmness of not knowing what anyone else was doing, and for a brief moment, he felt at peace. It was unfamiliar, but it was real. That evening, something shifted in him, not dramatically, not instantly, but enough to make him question everything he had been doing. What if the problem isn't that I'm behind? What if the problem is that I keep looking sideways instead of forward? The next day, Armin did something different. He woke up and didn't check his phone. It wasn't easy. His hand reached for it out of habit, but he stopped himself. Instead, he sat quietly. His mind raced at first, trying to pull him back into comparison, but he resisted. That day, instead of thinking about others, he asked himself one simple question: what do I want? It was harder than he expected. For so long, his goals had been shaped by others, what looked impressive, what earned validation, what gained attention. Now, without that influence, he felt blank. But he didn't give up. He wrote down small things. I want to feel calm. I want to enjoy my work. I want to improve, not impress. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest. Days passed, and Armand slowly started building a new routine. He limited his time on social media. He focused on his own progress, no matter how small. He started noticing things he had ignored before, like how peaceful mornings could be, like how satisfying it felt to complete something just for himself, like how quiet happiness was different from loud success. But the comparison didn't disappear overnight. Some days it came back stronger. One evening he saw another post, someone younger than him achieving something huge. The old feeling rushed back, the tight chest, the self-doubt, the urge to question everything. For a moment he almost fell back into the same cycle. But this time he paused. He took a deep breath, and instead of asking, "Why not me?" he asked, "What can I learn from this without losing myself?" It changed everything. Comparison no longer had to be destructive. It could be neutral, even useful. Weeks turned into months. Armand wasn't perfect, but he was different. He still saw others succeed, but it didn't shake him like before. He still had moments of doubt, but they didn't define him. Because now he had something stronger than comparison. He had direction.